All right, I'm actually going to try something because of the fact I've had some issues in the past. So I'm kind of doing a quick, like just kind of on the fly live here. Honestly, all it is it's really for me. I'm going to put together one car. I've got this Lumibricks car. It's one of the white and orange racing car. 3 in one piece. It's not too bad. But we're gonna put this together. There you go. Show a little bit less leg. And we're going to check and see how our software does, because for the most part, everything on, I see you happen to you know, shoot out or message me on the chat. Awesome. I'll try to chat back with you, but this is really just a test. See how things are going, because it hasn't been good. Not at all. Not at all. Now, I do have, man, I've got a bit of a problem here. I've got a ton of minifigs and all sorts of stuff all over the place, but I don't have an extra little thing available. Here, you know what, I'm gonna push these guys into here. Kind of got all my minifigs into this little head bucket. I need to go through and fix some stuff. I don't want to lose my McCree. Let me get my McCree out here. Been playing with minifigs and playing with all sorts of stuff here. Put that camera in there too. There you go. And yeah, become a little zombie minifig head. You know, I kind of, there's a part of me that wants to get another one down the way, but I'm just not there yet. And look, so my McCree, I was working with the arm, and the little brown arm broke off, and so I found from my spider, I think it was this cyborg spider woman. I took one of her bionic arms, and I just made him a bionic arm, because I mean technically he does have a bionic arm, just happens to be that's like, you know what, we'll fix it up that way. We'll see how it works. All right. Oh, we do have a sticker sheet with this. Looky there. It says racing car. Got some pretty decent decals there. But one page. There's a lot of instructions. I'll be holding that up to my face probably quite a bit, because sometimes those things are hard to see. Now, it doesn't have it separated with bags, so we already know. The bags, they're not doing their thing. It is it is the way it is. I'll be checking actually, because I'm looking at, like I said, I'm watching this. I'm watching what all the tabs are doing. I know OBS is taking a lot of CPU here. Edge is taking a little bit. Task Manager is up a little bit. I'm looking here and trying to find my dropped frame rates. It's actually in the red, so I'm not sure. It's like 40%. Man, I got to figure that out. Anyways, I can't tell on this one because, oh, look, here. Should probably fade that over so you can actually see me, right? So, now that I have testing, I'm in test mode. We're looking at that Make It Blocks racing car. Okay, so this is actually kind of a test day for me. This is not anything I was particularly too worried about if the live doesn't go as well as I want it to, because these things are like $5. I can probably pick up another one if I want, but I'm testing to see kind of where the CPU is, to see how things are going as far as the GPU memory, and just trying to figure out why certain things are working and certain things are not. Okay, so I have, as far as my computer, prioritized OBS, which is the software that I use to stream with, and that sort of things. But like I said, been having issues, hardcore issues, not very good. Like I said, been having issues, hardcore issues, not very good either. Like I tried to record, it was the other day, I was trying to record a video, and I was just recording it locally, right? It was the live feed of me putting the chili dog stand together. And the day that I was doing the live, the whole stream thing just went down in the middle of the thing. It just wouldn't pick up, wouldn't work. And then Had issues with the recording as well. The recording just looked awful. So I think for me right now, I'm checking to make sure that I got everything working. Looks like it. Okay. I think for me personally, I just kind of want to get this working. I'll do it with a $5 set. Nothing too big. Nothing too crazy. All right. Here we go. Let's get into it, yeah? I'm going to turn that a little bit there. So there we go. So it looks like from the beginning, we need one of these big guys. Two of these. So we are building the frame of this up. Looks like one, is it a 1x6? 8 of these 1x1 plates. Now this looks like a bin full of black, orange, gray, and white pieces. So this might take me a little bit longer than expected, but you know what? If I don't finish it, I'm not that concerned about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more, that's 8. We need 2 of these L plates. I'm gonna make sure that's, because I'm also testing, like, I've had some of my viewers tell me that the audio is not doing everything that I can. In this, a bit of a test, you would say, testing stream here. Oh, by the way, everybody, yeah, look, it's already disconnecting, connecting. Oh, so the problem with that is on my Twitch end, that completely shuts off the live, and on the Twitch end, it shuts out the live and starts a new one. I don't know about YouTube. I don't know how that works with that one, but yeah, it ends up having like multiple live streams. It starts to look ugly after a while. And I kept thinking, I was like, maybe it's the internet, but we've gotten new things. I was going to get another mesh router to kind of get this area over here, but a lot of it I'm checking the settings. I might actually have to get my friend to come and take a look at it. He knows a little bit more about this stuff than I do. He might be able to fix some of this and kind of get me where I need to go. But we shall see. All right. So it looks like this is a lot of instructions thrown at you at once. Like a lot of instructions thrown at you at once. Not in a good way either. Not at all. But we're going to figure it out. So we got this, it looks like. And then 2 of these. I have a feeling, though, this will probably look really cool when it's done. It's just a lot, man. They're throwing everything. It's like you have multiple steps in 1 or 2 directions at a time. It is insane, like, what they're asking. They're like, hey, do this and this and this and this, and this. Like, I've got parts that normally would be broken down into a book's worth into 2 pages. And I mean, some of the pictures are small. Very, very, very small. Again, I'm not like mad about it just because of the fact that, you know, we're spending, honestly, like, oh man, I'm not even sure. It's like, okay, these go here. $5 on this, $5, and we've got all this stuff, but it is a lot. All right, so this is everything in step 1. That is quite a bit. That is ridiculous amount of what's in there. So yeah, very, very, very ridiculous. All right, let me check this GPU over here. Interesting enough, it is probably the, let's see, what is this part that's leaking the most? Other than that, Edge is taking a little bit, but OBS is probably taking the most. And I think that's where CPU is the highest. And so that's where I'm trying to figure out like why it is, what's going on, what can we do to fix it, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's quite a bit. All right, now we're going on to our next step here. So we need 4 snot bricks. 2, 3, 4's right over here, right? No, that's just a regular. I will admit, though, this is what I do like about these particular sets is that besides for the instructions are just, they can be absolutely awful. But I do very, very much like the Make It bricks have gotten so much better because I believe they're using, I don't think it's Go Bricks or Rio Bricks, but they're using, I think, a company to get some of their bricks. So some of their clutch power over the years has gotten a little bit better than it has been in the past, which is nice. It is very, very nice to have blocks that just feel a load better than they did before. But I will tell you that it is the instruction. They're definitely something. There's something else. They are something to be desired. They are not very good. I mean, and don't get me wrong. The instructions, the build itself, the design is fine. But it is strictly the way that they execute the instructions are just, they are absolutely awful. Awful, awful. But at the same time, you're like, hey, you know, I get it. But I spent, you know, what, $5 on this. And if I'm getting a better clutch power with the bricks, the least of my concerns at this point is technically the instructions. It'll leave you scratching your head and making you wonder if you need a PhD to figure out how to put the thing together. But for the parts you're getting and for what you're getting, not bad at all. Now, there we go. Out of the gate. I was about to say, are you kidding me? Out of the gate, we already got missing pieces, but we do not. Actually, everything is there. Everything absolutely is there, so we're going to go with that. Now, I'm kind of like, how I situate this is I'm trying to line them up here as I go. So if I see a block or a piece, it's like, hey, I need that. I'm going to go ahead and pull it, set off to the side. I'm trying to line them up so I can do my counts and figure out if I have everything by the time I start building, because it's aggravating to try to go back and figure it out. Especially with this many instruction pieces all at once. It definitely is one of those where it's like, well, did I get it all? I'm not sure, because of the fact there's so many block exchanges in one direction. So we're on direction 2, and we're technically what I would count ourselves as being, like, I would put this in the realm of we've done about 5 pages worth. So we need 8 of these. And then, of course, 8 going up, 8 going down. Let me separate them. Like I said, quite a bit. One thing I've noticed, you can rebuild with these quite a bit for alternative bricks. That makes it a-okay. But it is sell these things because they don't really resell as kits, I guess you could say. That goes there. This one goes here. Up, 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 and up, and then another up. So that's 4. I need 1 more. And that's just something to keep in mind. If you're getting them, you're getting a lot. Like, you can get a lot out of it on the rebuilds, but if you're doing like mocking with them and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna mock everything, and I'm gonna try to sell it. They don't really resell very well, and that's something to definitely keep in mind. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more. I got a lot of the up ones, and I need one of them that's going down. Just another. This is probably my last one of the one going down. There it is. Okay. Okay, now we're still not done finding parts because we are yet again finding yet another set. We might have to get to a point and then kind of stop, because I also need to check and see how footage is looking, see how things are going, see how the streams look. There's quite a bit of this. It's like, again, all this is to test the live stream, see how it's going. Especially because when I go and I do like my Lumibricks stuff, I want it to actually work. And I've got a sheriff station that's coming up, and I'd like for that to actually work this time. Even on the lines of, if I could record it and post it later, I could do that as well. But then, it kind of serves the point of like, why am I doing OBS? Why am I doing these sorts of things here if there's no point in it? All right, so we're going to line up all of these. We're going to see how this is going. And it looks like we got a repeat of the other side. So I'm guessing this is where our wheels are going to go. Already with this breaking off, is that has me a little concerned. That maybe the clutch power on that plate is not as good as I was thinking it was. But so far, I mean, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Such is life, right? Such is life. Okay. So we got one up, one down. This one goes on the ends, and then it looks like another one up plate, one down. These are snot plates, by the way. Snot indicating studs not on top, even though it does have technically studs on top, but the studs pointing outwards. That's kind of what we're after here. So this one we have snot plates on. Actually, go ahead and put all of them together. I think there's 8 of them total, 4 on each side. So we'll go ahead and put them all together, and we'll kind of see where we're at. See how this stream is going. Like I said, I'm wanting to see to make sure everything is working correctly. It's a perfect day for it too. I mean, if you're on here on Christmas Day and you're watching, I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you though, Merry Christmas, by the way, if you're here. Merry Christmas. Thank you for showing up. You did not have to, I promise. This, more than anything else, is essentially just a testing ground. I wanted to test to see if I could get my software working, especially before Saturday, because I really, really, really want a little bit smoother transition. So I was changing some settings, trying to get things set up, trying to get things be. So really, really trying to work on cleaning up the feed here and getting things, even if I had to lower the quality of video a little bit, just keeping it from glitching, keeping it from freezing up and dropping all the time. That for me is super annoying, and I'm sure it's super annoying for a lot of people out there when they're like, man, I just want to watch you build, and every time I go to watch you build, your stream drops, this happens. I bet you that is probably the most frustrating thing in the world for people who are trying to watch. I know it's super frustrating for me trying to actually do the stream. Because then, as I'm trying to build and do this, which technically is already, not too much of a challenge, but it's challenging enough. That's where my attention should be. As the performer, and then I got to turn around and find out, oh, hey, this is not working. This is ridiculous, sort of thing. So, if I can fix it, I will. So we needed 4 of. Got 2 more studs. I'm checking to see kind of where my CPU and all that is right now. Let's put this right on the end. This goes here. 1 over here. 1 more. And 1 more right here. We're going to snap those 2 together. Boom. Boom. And boom. We're going to see how that works. I've already, some of the things I changed. So I also wanted to change the amount of streams I was putting out. So I actually dropped one of the streams, went back to the basic restream as well. So the basic package, so I'm not streaming quite so much to multiple channels to try to make it as easy as possible. That's actually a pretty, look at this. This is a pretty slick way of building kind of a back portion of your car. Check that out. That's slick. And I just say that because, you know, I'm about to get, you know, I've helped my kid put some Speed Champion stuff together. So I've helped him build Speed Champion sets. He got a few for Christmas, which he got like the NASCAR. He got the NASCAR actually. I wanted to get the Tokyo Drift. I might still get it. And I've got the Time Machine. That one is on pre-order right now with Amazon. I've been collecting. I finally found out I could go back with my Lego booklets and actually claim all of my points. So a lot of my sets I've been going back claiming my points for all the sets, which I thought was like, that is super cool that we can do that. And so I've got my Time Machine coming, I think January, like January 2nd or something. And we're supposed to live stream that at some point, but I've got to reach out and find out, like, you know, who all's in it, what are we doing, are we all able to do it? I know we had some members. My buddy M is not going to be able to do it. I kind of miss some of my friends. I haven't heard from Bangwish in a while. Brian, I really miss him too. But, you know, that is, you make some internet friends, and they come, and then times change, and you lose some of them. Maybe I do not have this part. I'm going to take these big wells out right here. I'm going to kind of reduce some stuff. I'm going to also take the wheels out. I don't need those right now. There's four hubs, 4 tires. The cockpit here I don't need. Let's see if that makes finding some of this stuff just a tad bit easier. I do have a steering wheel here, so that's good. I need 2 of these. 2 1x1 plates. And then I need 2 1x1 gray tiles. Okay, and it looks like the only thing I might be missing right now. Oh, I found it. It's a steering wheel part. Okay. Let's take a look and see. We got these 2. We got this, that at the end, these 2 here, these 2 here, and I skipped one. I skipped some parts. So you can see again why, like, there's so many directions thrown at you at once that it can make the build aggravating. But like I said, this is really, it's less for me to show off this product as it is for me to test my streaming service to see if I've got everything I need. Because that's the big thing for me, is it's you know, I've had some complaints. I've had a lot of people upset about some of what's been going on. GPU wise, we're still kind of high, but we'll see. Okay, so it looks like we're going to turn that around here. We got 1. I guess this goes right up on top. 2. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of big in comparison. Probably, I'm wondering if this might be on the level of what we're getting with Speed Champions. So, I think that goes here. Some of this seems rather unclear on where things are going in relationship to what it is. With 3 over. Oh, okay. That seems very, very, very odd, but it is. It is. That's all I got to say about that one, right? Hopefully we can fit a minifig in here. If not, you know what? This would be a perfect thing for us to figure out how to adapt it and show how to adapt it in order to make it to where it will fit a minifig. Because, I mean, ultimately the goal is that, especially with our Speed Champion stuff, we want it to be able to fit our minifigs and use it as a Speed Champion vehicle. And if we're not able to do that, then that's kind of sad. That would make me sad in my heart. All right, so let's do a new line of our pieces here. So we got that. A lot of these just seem like singles at this point. 1, 2. We do have a couple doubles in here. 2. Okay, one of these, 1 1x1 plate. 2x2 plate. A 1x2 plate. Lots of small steps. This thing has a pretty high count of blocks, but they're all regular blocks. So it's not, besides for, like we got modified snot plates. Okay. We got some that are modified snot plates that have the tube holder double-sided horizontal snots. So we've got all sorts of we've got like this, quarter, half diagonal tile. That sort of thing. Like we got a few things in there, but a lot of it's like cheese wedges and plates and tiles and things like that. Things that just, they're fine. There's nothing too crazy about it. One of these is getting number 2. So number 2, I'm going to grab this right here. Cool thing. We are getting, look at that, clear decals. So we actually have clear decals. And we're going to place that right there. Now, that's a technique, if you've never seen it, instead of getting your fingers all over the decal, you can actually use a brick separator to pull up the sticker, lay it down, and then you've got this really nice kind of a approach to putting your decal on so it doesn't get damaged, which I'm always I'm down to clown when it comes to making sure that my decals look good. Because otherwise, they're no bueno. No bueno. Not at all. All right, so we got this. We've got a 2x2. We've got the, it's like one tile goes there. We got another plate that goes here. This one goes right here on the bottom, if I'm correct. Oh, hold up. I see what I did. Boom. He said someone did a meme about like trying to peel up it's like fingernails and was it like fingernails and plate stuff down the road. All right, I'm trying to look right here because there's some oddities about this. Okay, this goes up top. This goes on the bottom, I believe. Okay. Yeah, they don't make that necessarily very clear, to be quite honest. But I kind of figured it out. Okay. So what they're doing is that they actually have us. So we're creating a whole side here, but they have us building this, setting it up, and then building these. So that's what we're ending up with from this one direction here. And it's odd. I'm not gonna lie, it is a bit odd. But like I said, you know, if if we were paying for if we were paying for better instructions, we probably wouldn't have this set be so cheap. And I think that's the draw, right? Is that, you know, hey, we get a really cheap set that's actually a fairly decent so far. It looks like a decent quality build, but the draw is that you're going to be ripping your hair out by the time you're done because the instructions are going to literally drive you insane. It's like the Call of Cthulhu for brick builders. Is what it is. I'm being called by Cthulhu. I'm in the mouth of madness right now, trying to figure out their instructions, and I think that's the odd part. It's like, ugh, yikes, yikes, yikes. But you know, it is what it is. We're all good. We're all good. We'll figure it out. Okay, so it looks like it goes here. This actually should go underneath. So that's an interesting build technique. It's unstudded, but we still have this nice kind of like build up through there. Okay, and that goes here. This is going to go out. The clutch power on that orange piece seemed a little off right there. Just a little bit. But we've got these. It's holding that together. And then it looks like we're going to put this on. I can already see drive me bonkers. But, I mean, okay. Look at this. That is a pretty decent side. You talk about detail. And this is, you know, I don't even know. I didn't even do a count of studs here, but it's pretty wild. Now, I do notice that this is pulling because the clutch up here is so tight. It's pulling that piece up a little bit. And that's going to be a disaster. Just saying, man. Just saying. Now, it looks like we're doing it yet again, but now we're going to be doing the opposite side. So, oh, we do. Well, that's interesting. We have a 2x5. We don't get those very often. Are we supposed to, is it supposed to be a 2x5? No, I believe it's supposed to be a 2x6. All right, let's take a look, because maybe I'm wrong on this. No, wow. It was a 2x5 on both. I'm just not counting. Don't count me out just yet. How are we doing on our CPU? I'm trying to see how the frame rate's going. That's my biggest thing. Like I said, if you're joining me, I appreciate you being here. You do not have to be here. This is strictly a test to kind of see how the new settings are going over a long time. I'm kind of doing this and monitoring the CPU usage as I'm going, because we have had multiple issues. Well, I say me. It's just me. I do not have a team of people. There are times when it's like I wish I did, but you know, I've had people like, well, you want me to moderate, and I'm good with moderation, but what I need more than something else is I need the PC setup people. That's what I need more than anything else, because I'm not the best at all of the ins and outs and technologically savvy stuff. Keeps the PC up and running the way it should. So when they're like, hey, we want to update things, I'm like, do I really want to update? I mean, how bad is it going to change things? I start to sweat. I start to freak out a little bit. I'm like, oh, stop, because who knows what you're going to be doing. Okay. Again, much like last time, except this time we're going the opposite direction. So we're going to go this way. We're going to go this way. All right. So this time we need number 3. Grab number 3 here. And again, using our brick separator, we can lay our sticker down, and that makes it easier to put that sticker on without a problem. That's what we like. We like, that's actually, sometimes that has been a major pet peeve of mine when I get a sticker that looks like absolute, excuse my language, but booty, and I'm like, ugh, that, which is nice. That is okay by my standards for the brick separator, and to make sure that things look the correct way. All right, so let's go over, we got a new parts list here. So again, shoehorning quite a bit into one or two directions. They love, Make It Bricks loves doing this. And here's my thing. I don't want to judge them too hard, because here's the thing. They are making, I've done quite a bit of builds, and the old Make It Bricks. So back in the day when I was doing like the Make It Bricks, and I was showing, this was a while back. This is before the channel got rebranded, right? It was like bricks. It was like zombie stuff. It's quite a bit of fun making that, because I also made a whole intro video to it. It was very cool. But that was one of those where at the time, even making that, like, the bricks just did not have the same clutch power that they have now. Like, they were off. You could tell. You could tell that they were cheap bricks. You could tell that they were not like the highest quality. And here lately, in the putting a little bit more money towards it, I think after the days of, oh my goodness, what was the Final Faction toys that came out? Like, they could tell that there's been a little bit more love in Greenbrier, which I believe is the company that distributes a lot of this stuff. Now, whoops, I'll get that. Now, with that being said, I don't know like how much of this is they've got a new brick distributor, if they're going through like Rio Bricks, or if they're going through one of the better brick companies, or if they've got some sort of deal that allows to have better stud grip quality. But I will say that it definitely feels like a better brick overall. So I did do something wrong. I could have sworn it was, there's so many directions that were thrown at me. Okay, so it's a plate, snot, and then snot. So let's replace these two real quick, because I was like, something's not lining up. I was like, these sides should just snap right in, and they are not. I was like, that's kind of concern. But I found out why. Because your boy here is not reading directions very well. Which is not uncommon for me, peoples. Okay. Still didn't like I have anyone. That's okay. You know what? I don't need anyone on this right now. Like I said, it's a test for me to see how things are going. Hopefully it's not completely chopped. And I say chopped, in that, I'm thinking like colloquially how, language goes of chopped being absolutely ugly. But here's the thing. I was looking at some of the footage. I was trying to upload like one of the videos, and I started looking at it. I'm like, this thing looks awful. It looks so bad. You can hear my voice. You can, hear me telling you stuff, but the video was like a frame per minute. And that's not good. Absolutely not good. Like I said, in that way, it was truly chopped. Okay, so we need two of these. We got a very long 1x4 cheese wedge. Two of these. One of those, a 1x4. Right here, 1x4. Two of these rockers. Looks like both the rocker plates and the rockers. One. There's one. There's another one. Need the base for it. The base. And looks like two of these 1x2 snot plates. One. And we need one more. I'm sure I will find it. There we go. Two. Okay. So this time it looks like we're going to go down. We're going to put this in between. These snot plates are going to go in between them. That's kind of a weird... This feels like it's not going to hold up very well already. Out the gate. And I'm questioning my decisions. No, it'll be fine. I say that. And I'm like, I don't know about this, man. All right, we got that one there. We're going to put this here. Like I said, I'm just trying to see how this is going to work. Okay. Now we're going to go and snap these in. Now these rocker plates, for the most part, you can tell if you got a decent company or not by... Oh, lordy, that's tight. That's really tight. Okay, so these a little undersized. They don't feel as buttery smooth as you get with like Lumibricks and some of those. They feel kind of like the oh man, what was it? Not Orcrea. I can't remember the one I did the pier, and I can't even remember the name of it. Woma. Yeah, Woma. That was it. Their rocker plates were really, really tight. Like, unbearably tight. Not in a fun sort of way. Kind of like the way where you're like, why? Why would you do this to me and to everyone else building this? This is ridiculous. Okay. Making sure that's what I have. And it looks like we're building out the front of this now. So, it's weird. They have us do multiple steps. We're doing multiple steps at a time, and then we are attaching it all together. And it's weird because it's like, I wanna say that it satisfactory wise, as far as the build, it's like sometimes I like doing that, especially when some of the build feels so monotonous. It's like build a section, snap it on, move on. Because sometimes as a builder, some of the build itself is the allure to the set, right? But if the build is bad, you know, it can be unnerving. With this, the instructions are bad. Don't get me wrong. The instructions are definitely something to be desired. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not something to be desired. It is something not, but it's getting us from point A to point B, which is fine. That works. However, it is, the journey there is rather difficult. All right, so we've got this. It's like 11 different parts that we're putting together in one step, and that is aggravating, super aggravating. All right, so we've got this one here. We got the opposite on the other side. So we got a lot of these like tapered slopes, tile slopes. Two of these, 1 and 2. Nope. There it is, 1 and 2. Two more plates, but this time in black. 1 and 2. Interesting enough, we're kind of getting down to an end here. I'm starting to see, like, I can spot things in the tray so much easier, which tells me that, you know, surprisingly, we're getting to an end rather quickly. More quickly than I was imagining. Now, we do have these, really, both of these are kind of cool. They're using these as headlights, but they're the fang plates that we're using as headlights. That's actually in my opinion, pretty well done. Well played. 2 of these gray 1x1s. And then 4 of the... They look like they're actually the 1x1 round studs. 1, 2, 3. Let's find one more. And 4 right there. I'm watching as it disconnects. It's my GPU is dropping and then coming back on. So that's a little awkward. Back on. So that's a little awkward. I'm also looking to see how the stream looks on. So it looks fine on my computer. But what I'm noticing over on the actual stream is that it looks really bad. Restream. You sadly, Restream, I don't know if it's you or OBS or what the problem is, but somebody is dropping the ball. Somebody is dropping the ball. Somebody. Okay, so it looks like we need one of these, and one of these. If anything, and it's like, and I hate to say it this way because it's like, man, I wanted to have a decent stream, but you know, it is. If anything, the fact that I'm able to build today does make me kind of happy. All right, and I think we're going to be building one on the opposite end as well. So let me do the opposite of what they got here, and then, yeah, they're not as clear on these instructions as I would want. A little aggravating. Actually, not a little, very. That goes there, this goes here. Look, I did it wrong. See, I'm already, and I think this is the part where it's like, hey, we got repeat things, break them up into 2 different ones, you know? That would have made more sense to me to break it up into 2 separate pages to make that part of the build that much easier. We're mirroring one versus the other, but they are not exactly like, what's the word? They're not exactly like having us think through things. So I'm going to check here. Mobile Live. There's something there. Okay. So going back to this. So this is going the opposite direction. So it needs to go this way with this. Am I correct? That goes down. Then that should go this way for that one. Yeah, like I said, very, very, very awkward. This gets 1 and 2 on each end. Not quite sure what that part is, but you know, like I said, OBS over here is looking pretty busted. So I have a feeling once I get down to 11 down here and I fit these on, maybe 12, I think we'll stop. And we'll take a look at it from there. And I'll kind of go back and see what's going on with OBS so we can figure out why exactly things are not working the way they're supposed to. Because we want them working the way they're supposed to, but they are not. Okay, so this is turned this way. Oh. Hold up. Oh, my goodness. This is outright aggravating. So I feel like I'm going blind looking at the... So we have this that's been made, right? We have this that's been made. this one that has been made. This is supposed to fit into what? Uh-huh. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. This is rough. This is very, very, very rough. Um, that almost feel like you need an engineering degree for that. That is insane what they're having us do. All right, let me see if I can coax myself into figuring out this one as well. Because it is, again, one of those where I'm like, why, how, and why will we be doing this way? Okay. And then these are supposed to go one here, one here. And already we're having issues with this part falling apart. So again, I mean, it looks extraordinarily cool. And it's a very interesting way of building this. I'm just not sure how the clutch power aspect of this is going to work, because I think that fits right into here. Because as you're pushing it in, I'm more afraid half the time that I'm breaking it as I'm trying to seat these parts one on another to make sure that everything is holding up. Fairly large so far. Actually, probably bigger than expected, bigger than planned. So we'll do 12 and then I'll call it, so that way I can review my footage, see what's going on. Matter of fact, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and call it now. So that way I can kind of, see what's going on. Because it looks like I'm frozen still way back. Unfortunately, I don't know how much of this is working, how much of it's not working. It says excellent stream health. We'll see. We'll see. All right, everybody. So I think I'm gonna get off so that way I can kind of take a look and see what's going. I'm gonna run over here to Twitch real quick, just to see how things are going. See if the live stream is actually up, doing what it's supposed to do. And I say that because Restream is showing a blank page. Like the computer seems fine, everything else is looking good. Twitch seems to be running fine, supposedly. I'm catching up with it, so I'm gonna say yay. I'm actually even gonna go over here to YouTube. I'm gonna look at my actual channel, and we'll see how the live is looking there too. Because like I said, this is really more or less a test, just to kind of see how things are going. Yeah, I mean, it looks like so far everything is still going strong. So you know what? I will go ahead and continue with what we're doing, because like I said, I want to see how things are going. I want to make sure that now my restream, unfortunately, it's acting wild. It's all over the place. I do not have a live preview for it, but who's to say what that means at this point? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna continue this on. We're gonna build this. We're gonna see kind of where we're at. So we need this, two of these, one 1x3, one of these guys, little slope plate, what is that, a 1x4 tile with modified 2 studs up. We just need one of them, huh? That's interesting. What else do we have? It's 2 of these. We're going to do this. One, is that? Nope. 1 and 2. Now this uses a ton of these little slopes. Interestingly enough, a lot of these slopes. We got two. We got one of these. Is that right? And one on the opposite end. If I can find it. I know it's in here. I know it's in here. So far, I don't think I've ever had a set that didn't have all the pieces and parts. Though it's never. I mean, it could always happen. I'm not gonna shoehorn them into greatness just yet. And then two of these L plates, two of these here, and then a couple of the black cheese wedges. One and two. Where is it? We have two, right? Yeah, it's saying two. It's right there, right by me. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay. All right, so they have us stacking these up twice. 1 and 2, and then it looks like we're going, and then 1, and then we're forcing these two in the center. So 1 and 1, 2. We got this. It's going to be an interesting looking. I can't tell if this is the front or the back at this one. It's the front. So we've got this. And then we're taking this guy right here, and we're going 1 and 2. It looks like this is supposed to fit on top. That's actually kind of dope. I like that. It's pretty good. This is going. Where is this fitting to? Okay, it's off somewhere. Maybe it goes like this. That's what it does. It's supposed to fit right into here. Okay. That's pretty solid, though. I have to admit, that is super solid. That feels like a tight fit. We've got one. I missed one. I missed a plate here. 1 and 2. Okay. I should have 2 of these. See what happens when you have too many instructions in one thing. It is hard to tell what is going on. 2. Now, if this doesn't fit a minifig, this is going to be one of the key areas that we're going to have to fix. And I say that because of what we're getting as far as like, this looks like a plate where the pedals, things like that go. We've got one slope plate over here. Plates would go over here. The steering wheel would go over here. So it looks to me like if this did not hold a minifig, this area right here would have to be modified. Heavily modified. And I say that because this is supposed to go right in here, I believe. How does that go? Looks like that goes on top of that. That's quite interesting. I'm going to press that wedge down. The clutch power on that's a little too tight. I'll press that down here. I think this lines up with those. Okay, so we got that. This lines up here. And hopefully that'll hold some of that into place. Yeah, okay. Again, why couldn't we have had this to where this was unstudded? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, but I didn't. I can't keep yelling at me because I did not design that one. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. This time we got our 2 wheel wells. 1, 2. We have 1, 2 of these. 2 of these. So 1 and 2. Wow, surprisingly, it's all there so far. 2 1x4s. Another 2 1x4s. This time plates. 10 of these. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, and then 1, and I should have one more in here. Am I correct on that? It's saying that I have one more? Yeah, it's right here, 2. Okay. And again, and it got reconnected. Okay. So that is now 3 times that that's happened. So now I'm going to look to see how many feeds I have, because that'll also indicate like what's going on with it. If I can figure out this is not working, or this is working. This is supposed to fit onto here, I think. They're not too open about what's going on with this, but I'm guessing it goes like this. And I guess we got to build the reverse of it, which is, again, so awkward. How they're doing this is just, it feels very, very, very awkward. Gaps in here where we could use actual bricks and studs, but we don't have it. But based on what we have, I mean, we built what we were supposed to have. So we're going to try it over here as well. So we're going to do it like this. So we got 1 and 2. That goes here. So we need 1, 1, 1. This goes right here. Just like that. That flips, right? 1, 1. Here. And here. Am I correct? I don't know why I had that one. Yeah, so that goes like that, and then this would fit into here, if I'm correct. So yeah, it's, again, it's, see, that one feels backwards this time. So this and this were built the same, so this needs to reverse. Again, it's one of those where it's like, hey, if you didn't have, and I know they're trying their best, and they're probably saving for them. It's like they're saving on where they can. They're trying to save on the amount of paper. But what we're getting is what I could almost associate with the most aggravating portion of a build possible, where I am just trying to figure out why in the world this thing exists as is. So that goes this way. I had it right. I didn't have it right. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. And yeah, some of the clutch power on this does not feel quite like it should. Again, $5. The build started off really well. It's still going actually fairly well. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the roughest thing I've ever done, but it definitely doesn't. It definitely has its moment where it's like, you know what? It feels just a tad bit off. It just doesn't feel quite right, in that certain things just aren't settling the way that they should. But it's also, a lot of the build techniques are just so out there that it's hard to figure out what it is that they're asking at that moment. And that's something that we really have to keep in mind. It's like you're giving up the convenience of a lot of cost for something that's more cost effective, that everyone has a chance to get a hold of, but at the same time, it's like it's rough. It is rough. Okay, so 6, 8, and then one more, 10. And then let's take a look at this. So we're stacking 5 of these plates high. This is one of those, it's like, well, why couldn't we just use bricks at this point, you know, and cut down on the amount of parts. But I also have a feeling that they were told at some point that they had to have a certain amount of bricks. But sometimes I just do not like stacking too many plates. As a matter of fact, whenever I'm doing my own mocks and I have a lot of plates, if I can calculate and see where I can get rid of plates to cut down on the piece size and put in bricks, I will do it. Because to me, that's more important to have like a better brick count in the long run. Have things that feel a little more consumer friendly by having a lot better brick count, not having too much. We do have some of these cool grill pieces. I'm always good for grill pieces. If this, I mean, it's like one of those, if this doesn't stay as is, at least you got some decent parts to mock with and build mocks with, which is always a plus in this way. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have to figure this out, because I guess this goes back here. Oh, man. All right, let's count them. That was in the wrong spot, and I figured that was going to happen. Nope. Yep, I figured it was going to happen. So in order to get these out, so again, it's like, why not use bricks when you have them? Bricks would have made a lot more sense in the long scheme of things. That would have made a lot more sense. Okay, so it looks like this is supposed to go across this area. We're going to go ahead and snap this part down first, I think. And then we'll put this piece in. So we do have this, it's kind of weird how this is set up, because it doesn't feel like, I think just having, that might be something I changed on the way, put a couple bricks in there. It holds there, but initially it doesn't feel like that would actually hold very, very well at all. But it does hold. In this case, it holds actually pretty well. Just got a plate, got a rocker, and another rocker right here and here. 1, 2, and 3. 2 tiles. 1, 2 tiles. 2 of our Android claws. 1 and 2. 6 of these. There's 3. And 6. Got 2 of these orange studs with holes, and then 2 of these studs with spoke. Okay. Now, again, I got to hold up to my face to look. It's like, oh man. Actually, let's do mirrors first. That seems like less challenging, probably more beneficial in the long run. So they've got these really cool ways of doing this, where you're using a tile with stem, a droid claw, and then a stud with hole to create rear view mirrors. So that works out. It's this part that's going to be the part where I'm like, okay, why? Again, we've got 1, 2, we're adding 6 studs. Okay, so we've got 3 studs stacked. Now, or 3 plates stacked. So if your plates are 3 high, we know that's the same as a brick. Why not just make it a 1x2 brick? That's what, this is where I'm like, I don't understand quite what they were expecting. It's almost more like they're like, hey, we got all of these extra parts. We got to figure out what to do with them, because at this point, if we don't do something with them, it's not going to work out, or it's, you know, we're going to be in this much trouble. We're going to be tar and feathered. I don't know. But it is super, super strange that we've got this. Now we're building, it looks like a seat maybe, and a back. And I got to count to see where we're going with it, because it goes this way. This goes up. I guess this is supposed to line up with this. It lines up there, but look, there's nothing to stop it. So it's just going to fall through. Again, very, very awkward. Awkward, awkward, awkward. Easy, easy fix. Put a stud piece, a block back there. A simple block would have made such a key difference in all of this. But, again, I did not design it. Can't yell at me, man. I didn't do it. I'm just putting it together. All right, so we're down to our last few pieces. At this point, we're kind of, besides this is the stickers afterwards. Like, we're just kind of putting stickers together at this point, which I am all good for. We're using these little horns as lights. They come in a translucent red. That's actually pretty slick how they're doing that. I think I got them all. I think I got all the parts we need at this point. I know we're putting together the spoiler at the end. We'll get that. I can hear them stirring out there too, which tells me that I'm almost out of time. I probably need to start rounding this up here pretty soon. Like I said, I got on here just to test, to see what in the world was going on with my internet, with the things that we had going on here. Because it's been aggravating trying to get, you know, all this up and going. Okay, so goes like this. This goes here. This is going to go up. This is going to go across here. Boom, like that, right? I think that's straightened out. Let's grab our brick separator here and fix that. There you go. So I think that goes like that. How are we doing this? So we got one of these that's holding this on. Am I correct? Yep. And then one of these that's holding this on, like this. So hopefully, if I've done this correctly, this is. I think once it's on the vehicle and I kind of look at it there, I'll be able to make a better judgment about it. I think these are going down. So they look almost like horns going down. Even though that I feel like they should probably turn inwards just a little bit more. So inwards and downs like that. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. And then this is going to fit right up into there. Pretty sharp. That's actually a pretty sharp idea. I do like the look of that. We're gonna go ahead and put these down as well. 1, 2. We'll snap these on, which we should have one here, one over here. Both of those look very nice. Honestly, this is now starting to exceed some of my expectations a little bit more than it was. All right, so, but it's just, I think for me, the build process, what they're asking us to do, that's the part where it's like, this is odd. Very, very odd. Not in a good way odd, just odd. Okay, so that goes like that. I've done it correctly. This goes here. Let's see, it goes up. And then that goes down like that. This is going to go right here. And I missed one of the studs over here. Let me pop this off real quick. There is right here. This is supposed to raise up just like that. So that when this fits on, that feels more like a covered spot there. It's like I'm turned in like this because it looks more realistic to the actual car. So, okay, so we're on the, looks like the third time that it has dropped and then come back. So that being said, like I said, I'm going to go back and check them out, see how things are going. I do want to go ahead, before I put the spoiler on, I want to go ahead and get these tires on. And I'm breaking my rule. Normally, when I do this, I like to put the tires together first. Though, I'm also kind of running based on directions, and so, you know, not sure how things are going to go. But we're going to go ahead and pop these in. These probably also, because they do have these are the wheel wells that had a little stud in them right there. Easily could have had some little tiles or something to put on there to add a little bit of oomph to the build to make it look nicer. Clutch power on that's a little light. So not all the bricks are clicking into place quite like you want them to. But I mean, it's kind of what we're looking at so far. This is pretty slick. I'll do the stickers probably off screen another time. Some questionable things like this not wanting to fit correctly is very, very awkward. Not in a good way either. Not at all. That should not be sitting quite like that. Like, you should not feel like this is caving every time you go to put that on. But that's kind of where we're at. Let's take a look real quick while I'm finishing up the last portion of this. Let's grab a minifig. We'll grab our little racer guy here. Let's check him out. Let's see how he works in there. So grab a little racer guy. We're gonna put him in here. Now again, he fits, but he's offset, and he doesn't fit with the canopy. So I think if we wanted to make this where it would fit him, we'd either have to drop the canopy and find a roll bar or something else about it to put on there. The car overall, it works really well. But like I said, some of the base stuff for the, you know, having like the canopy shut for your character, the fact that it doesn't want to hold correctly, some of it's a little aggravating. It's one of those, it's like, I think the pieces and parts that we get are perfect for rebuilding your own car, but if you wanted to have a car that works for what we're wanting to, like an actual minifig sit in it and all that, we're gonna have to end up changing the way certain parts hold on. Just that's kind of the fact of it there. Okay, looks like that's supposed to go here. We're gonna pop this on, make sure the arms are the correct way, pop this on, down to the back, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm just turn these around, one and done this way, one done this way. Okay, and then we could adjust that however we want, even tilt it back, do whatever. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. I mean, all in all, like, I'm not gonna lie, I originally thought that this was white and orange, because the box seems like it was white and orange. It's actually gray. It is gray and orange. Color scheme, I like this. There's a part of me that's like, I would love to rebuild this into a flying car situation. There's definitely some modding that I think needs to be done in order to make this worthwhile for the build that we're getting. I mean, just straight up. $5 parts you're getting, worth it. There's lots to build with. That's definitely, I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely worthwhile. The fact that you're getting this for $5, it's, you can't beat it. Some of the build techniques, whoo, lordy, and I hate to say it, Lord Jesus on your birthday, but this is it's aggravating. It is an aggravating build. I want to love every aspect of it, but it's very hard to do. Could I mix this with some other sets? Totally. Could I mix this with some of that and use some of their build techniques to build something better? Most definitely. There's some questionable things about it. What we're getting though for $5, if you're needing, hey, I need a quick build, I need something to kind of get my brain working, thinking, build wise, it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. For $5, the parts we're getting, stellar. That part feels worthwhile. I'll probably end up just shooting a review of this and putting it out there, so that way we can have a little less. You don't have to go through the whole thing, but if you want, we can do it. Now, I will be going back and reviewing this because I also want to see, hey, how are we doing as far as our feeds? As like I said, I'm gonna check Twitch right now just to see how things are going, because I'd like to find out, and it's like one of those where it's like I'm interested. I'm interested to find out where the issue lies. I'm noticing there seems to be a problem with Restream, but I want things to work out correctly. I want it to feel like this is a platform that I can shoot out on, that people can see what's going on. And it seems like everything so far just seems to be Restream. I'll check YouTube, I'll check Twitch, I'll make sure that things are going well. I'm trying to make sure that we have it to where we don't have a certain amount of drops in frames, but then also recording on the local level, I'm kind of also noticing some problems there. So I'm going to work on it. We're going to fix it hopefully by Saturday. Saturday is my key day when I, like to do my live streams, especially for Lumibricks. That's something as I'm helping out doing their their affiliate program, helping them, sell some stuff. I want them to be able to see that we actually have some better, some better, I want people to be able to see what we're building. Okay, that's kind of to put it the long direction there. All right, that's all I got for today. Hey, if you were here and checking this out, I appreciate you. I don't know why. I thank you for doing it, but hey, thank you for coming and checking out, seeing what I got. That's really all I got. Hey, thank you all. If you were here, thank you. I love you. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting. For these, again, find these over at Dollar Tree.